doctors tell us about new treatments. But first tonight, thousands of public vaccinations over the last 2 days given right here in the CSRA. University Hospital just wrapping up a 2-day vaccine event today.
And you may not have heard about it because they asked us not to say anything. That's because they had already determined which seniors would get the vaccine. Over the 2-day event, University says they vaccinated 3,000 people 65 and older.
And today, AU Health started those public vaccinations as well. They gave their first 100 shots to the public at a clinic today.
This all comes as vaccine rollout across the two states is among the slowest in the nation. Both Georgia and South Carolina have administered right around half of the vaccines they've gotten. But both DHEC and Georgia DPH say all those doses have been scheduled to be given out. Cindy Heiberger takes us to our local vaccine clinic.
The second day of University Hospital's COVID vaccine clinic is now over, and it served about 3,000 of their most vulnerable primary care patients aged 65 and over. It's the first step in what they hope will be a more widespread rollout. A sigh of relief for 76-year-old Stephen Brown when, after trying unsuccessfully to schedule his own COVID vaccine, his primary care physician invited him to a clinic.
My wife tried numerous times to get it at Publix, and they were always full.
Georgia and South Carolina have been allowed to vaccinate people over the age of 65 for nearly 2 weeks, but due to a short supply, local rollout has been limited to invite-only type events.
We can request 5,000 a day is the allotment that we're allowed to, but that's not what we're receiving. We're probably receiving about 50% of that.
Here at Augusta University,
Sorry that video cut out. We'll put the full thing online for you to see. But if you are eligible to get a vaccine, remember you can schedule an appointment. There's a handful of public stores in the river region that are offering those. You can also try any Kroger pharmacy in Georgia. New appointments do open up each week as they get more vaccines. You do have to schedule those online, and we have a link for you on our website to do all of that. Some potentially good news from our local hospitals. They all saw decreases in COVID patients in the last 24 hours. These are new numbers coming to us. University Hospital actually discharged 12 patients, but got 6 more. AU Health now back in the double digits after discharging 10 patients. Doctors Hospital now has fewer than 80 patients.
Some staggering statewide numbers today. That's the number of new cases in Georgia and South Carolina on your screen. In South Carolina, more than 28% of people who were tested today were positive. By comparison, the percent positive was about 14% in Georgia. Georgia also saw 162 more deaths today, the second most in a day for the state. Of those Georgia cases, health officials say 5 of those are the new COVID strain that's believed to be more contagious.
There are a lot of questions surrounding that new strain, especially its effect on kids. Celeste Springer answers some of those questions as doctors work on new COVID treatments.
with our local hospitals at capacity, there's new concern over a new strain of COVID-19. It's called the B117 variant, but with new struggles inside hospitals comes more victories on the road to treating COVID-19. So many unknowns.
The concern is that it appears to be easier to transmit, but even that leaves open a lot of questions.
Questions that could make or break our healthcare system.
Will it mean ultimately that more people will get it? And we certainly don't know if being easier to transmit will make it the same degree of seriousness in terms of the illness it causes. Maybe it'll make it less severe. Maybe it will be easier to transmit only among young people.
A big unknown is how it spreads to children, but Dr. MacArthur says it's just too soon to tell. Before we'll have answers, the CDC needs to implement more testing to track the different strains. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel for our crowded hospitals. A new infusion treatment is available at AU. It's meant to be administered to high-risk patients before their symptoms are severe enough for an overnight stay.
Our goal here is certainly to keep the patient healthier, to keep them from getting sicker. But what that means for the healthcare system is that's also a patient that doesn't end up critically ill in our ICU.
Filled with man-made antibodies, AU says results are promising.
Certainly it's what I would recommend for my family member that became ill that was high risk.
And a promising treatment can certainly go a long way right now. I asked Dr. MacArthur if the infusion treatment could help with the new B117 variant. He says, Like everything else with this strain, it's unknown until more testing and data is collected. In Augusta, Celeste Springer on your side.
Our I-team asked the Department of Public Health nearly 3 weeks ago where the first case of the new variant was discovered. They will not tell us what county. They're citing HIPAA laws for patient privacy, but since we're not looking for any patient data, just a county, we're going to keep fighting for transparency to find out where the variant has been located in the state of Georgia.
In South Carolina, health officials say every week the state is ordering as much of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines as they can. It all depends on what the state is allocated by the government. Those health officials say moving on to the next phase of vaccinations will depend on how many doses the state gets each week and how many people are getting vaccinated. They are still working on mass vaccination sites. An online scheduling program is expected next week.
Augusta University offering some interesting COVID insights at their town hall meeting today. To date, AU has vaccinated more than 10,000 people. This comes as their testing site tests on average 800 people a day. When it comes to the university, school officials say they have no plans of mandating the vaccine for students, even those who live on campus. They do plan to make the vaccine available to all faculty, staff, and students as soon as they can.
To other now, we take a look over the
That's coming up in about 10 minutes.
And we're going to rerun that package we showed you earlier that cut out again. And just a reminder, today AU Health started public vaccinations. They gave their first 100 shots to the public at a clinic today. This all comes as vaccine rollout across the 2 states is among the slowest in the nation.
Sydney Heiberger takes us to our local vaccine clinics.
The second day of University Hospital's COVID vaccine clinic is now over, and it served about 3,000 of their most vulnerable primary care patients aged 65 and over. It's the first step in what they hope will be a more widespread rollout. A sigh of relief for 76-year-old Stephen Brown when, after trying unsuccessfully to schedule his own COVID vaccine, his primary care physician invited him to a clinic.
My wife tried numerous times to get it at Publix, and they were always full.
Georgia and South Carolina have been allowed to vaccinate people over the age of 65 for nearly 2 weeks, but due to a short supply, local rollout has been limited to invite-only type events.
We can request 5,000 a day is the allotment that we're allowed to, but that's not what we're receiving. We're probably receiving about 50% of that.
Here at Augusta University, they vaccinated about 100 people over the age of 65 today. They're calling it a test run for when they're able to open up larger scale vaccination clinics and their new online scheduling system. At First Baptist Church, another test run for 3,000 of University Hospital's primary care patients.
And I'll be glad when the second one's done.
Renee Gallup with University Healthcare says the problem isn't preparation.
We're ready.
It's not knowing when the next big shipment will come.
It's hard to plan is the biggest challenge for us.
Until then, she says they plan to have more events serving small portions of the most vulnerable population.
It might be we'll contact churches to get 100 people of your highest risk over 65. So we're going to continue to serve our community any way we can to get shots in arms.
In Augusta, Sydney Heiberger on your side.
Several school districts in the River Region going back to in-person classes on Monday. That includes elementary school students in Richmond County. On Tuesday, middle and high schoolers will also be face-to-face. Richmond County not alone. Students in McDuffie County moving to a hybrid schedule on Monday. Lincoln County and Bamberg District 1 schools also shifting to in-person classes on Monday. Crews at work today cleaning up Lake Olmsted. They're digging to make the lake about 10 feet deeper than it is right now. They've also pumped out hundreds of thousands of cubic yards worth of sludge and silt, just really appetizing stuff out of there. This is all part of the dredging process, and while this is going on, the lake is closed for recreational use, and it could take up to a year to finish cleaning it out.
A teenager arrested after a deadly shooting we told you about in Blythe last night. Alec Haddon faces murder and weapons charges. He's due in court on Monday. Haddon is accused in the death of a 50-year-old, Jerry Hardin. This was the scene there last night around 8 o'clock on Ederly Drive near Deansbridge Road in Blythe. Deputies say the victim was found in a dirt driveway with a gunshot wound. Investigators are looking into what led up to the shooting. And a suspect on the run tonight after a man is shot in the leg in Augusta. It happened here on 10th Avenue off MLK Boulevard. The victim was taken to the hospital, and we're working to find out how he's doing. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office has not released any information on a suspect just yet.
The murder suspect in the death of a Richmond County investigator was in court this morning. Alvin Hester pleaded not guilty on multiple charges, including murder, theft, gun, and drug charges. Hester is accused of killing investigator Cecil Ridley in November of 2019. Ridley was doing a proactive patrol near the Augusta Mart when that shooting happened over near the medical district. That case is from a year and a half ago, which goes to show how backed up the courts are on trial cases.
One judge in Augusta says it could take up to 3 years for Georgia to catch up with the backlog, but Nick Proto tells us Augusta could catch up a lot quicker.
Jury trials are on pause in Georgia, and cases in the Augusta Judicial Circuit are starting to pile up.
As far as requests for jury trials in criminal, I believe the last time I looked there were 17.
Courtrooms like this one are too small for jury selection. The state allowed the courts to use the James Brown Arena for a few weeks last year, letting them assemble and select jurors while following COVID safety protocols.
We held 4 jury trials, and quite frankly, I don't know any other circuit that did that many. I think we're in better shape than most.
The state shut down trials again following a post-holiday COVID spike. Earlier this week, state judges said it could take 3 years for the courts to catch up, but Martin says the Augusta Circuit could be caught up in half that time.
We continue to summon jurors in the future so that when he does lift that stay, we can immediately call jurors in and be able to resume our jury trials. We have cases ready to be tried, and we believe that we'll resolve those cases within a year to a year and a half.
In the meantime, the courts are asking lawmakers for additional funds to use senior judges who are semi-retired and see a limited number of cases. Those were cut last year while jury trials were on hold.
In the anticipation of the emergency stay being lifted on jury trials, the courts are asking for additional funds for senior judge usage.
On top of not having enough judges, the courts are also looking for more space to keep up with COVID protocols.
It can sometimes take 2 or even 3 courtrooms to hold one jury trial because of the space limitations we have, and having to have public access and then having to have room for the jury to deliberate.
He says they're expecting more directions from the state chief justice in mid-February. In Augusta, Nick Proto, on your side.
District Attorney Jared Williams talked to us about the backlog. He says his office is dedicated to increasing efficiency, and he talked about multiple ways they were doing that. He says they are restructuring the DA's office to better handle the historic backlog. You can read his full statement on our website.
South Carolina's former U.S. Senate candidate Jamie Harrison will be the new chair of the Democratic National Party. He says he has 2 goals: being a megaphone for the Biden-Harris administration's success and making sure his party adds to its slim majorities in the House and Senate. But he says their first priority will be getting people vaccinated.
From my colleagues that have walked into the White House, they have told me, Jamie, it is a disaster. That the past administration did not have a game plan to make sure that Americans could receive this COVID vaccine.
Harrison also says we may see laws that are priorities for South Carolina, like Congressman Clyburn's plan to fight poverty and a bill on expanding broadband access.
The Edgefield community is coming together to help a family who lost their 16-year-old son. The Old Edgefield Butcher Shop is hosting a fundraiser tomorrow in honor of Ryan White. Ryan died last Monday from injuries he got in a car accident near Trenton. The fundraiser is from 11 to 1 tomorrow, and for a $10 donation, you'll get a plate of food. All the money will go to Ryan's family. The Butcher Shop is on Augusta Road in Edgefield. They say you can park in the nearby Burger King parking lot.
For the weekend, we are expecting beautiful weather, those high. And if you're hurt, just call all night.
A new way to get people outside and help local kayaking businesses. Columbia County teamed up with those businesses to create a paddle trail.
It involves getting a passport stamp and even free stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Riley Hale shows us how you can complete the trail.
Kayaking can be a great activity to do during the pandemic, and Columbia County wants you to check out their new Serene 18 paddle trail. The paddle trail consists of 4 different stretches of waterway in Columbia County for a total of 18 miles. Savannah Rapids Park is home to 2 of the stops on the paddle trail, the Augusta Canal and Stallings Island.
As far as Stallings Island is concerned, the ability to see the donkeys and goats that are out there, it's so much easier this time of the year because there's not so much foliage.
The Augusta Canal is a longer paddle at 7 miles, but the steady current keeps the trip under 3 hours. The other 2 stops on the paddle trail are Clarksville Lake and Betty's Branch along the Savannah River.
We have the Serene 18 paddle passport, which you can request through our office. We'll mail that to you for free.
or you can pick one up at our office here at Savannah Rapids Park or with any of our paddle partners.
Columbia County teamed up with 4 local kayaking businesses to help get kayakers from point A to B and help with stamping paddle passports. They have seen a noticeable increase in business since the launch of Serene 18 in June.
Double, if not triple. I mean, it's been an extreme increase.
Had people from all over the southeast.
You can turn in completed passports to the visitor center at Savannah Rapids Park to claim a free t-shirt, but the experience is what it's all about.
You know, you can just go up to the sandbar, hang out, eat some PB&Js, and take it back in. It's my fave. We got a good vibe going down there. I like it.
Absolutely.
Y'all do.
That does sound nice right about now. And all you have to do is go to one of those 4 kayaking businesses that you mentioned, Riley, and say you want to do the paddle trail. We'll post those online as well. But how is the weather looking if people want to get out on the water?
Looking good this weekend. We are expecting a beautiful day tomorrow. High pressure is going to be sitting just to our north, bringing us an abundance of sunshine. Those high temperatures tomorrow look to be close to 60 as well. So if you're heading up towards the lake, the river, the canal, should be beautiful out there for you. By Sunday, we are expecting more clouds than sun throughout the day. Not anticipating rain during the day Sunday, but those clouds that move in will be a sign of rain heading our way, most likely Sunday night into Monday morning. Well, with the rain we dealt with earlier today, that is now cleared out, and we're starting to see some clear skies. Looking over Aiken County here from our WeatherStem camera network, a beautiful shot there. And sunset tonight was at 5:50 p.m., so we're getting closer to our 6 p.m. sunsets. We're going to have to wait until February. February 2nd, we finally see those sunsets after 6 o'clock. But we're going to have to wait all the way until April before we get those sunsets all the way after 8 p.m. And those are the days I'm counting down, when those days are a little bit longer and also a lot warmer for us. But we do have a few clouds that are continuing to filter through this evening. These will be clearing out overnight, and we are expecting just generally clear skies throughout the day tomorrow. Now on radar, all the rain is to our south. We're seeing some very light returns pop up on radar just south of I-20. That likely is not hitting the ground. Actually, we're just looking at one of our tower cams, and it looks like it is what we call virga, basically rain falling but just evaporating before it hits the surface. Our current temperatures around the metro currently at 52 in Evans and Augusta. Same thing in Aiken. Not too much of a temperature spread out there currently here just after 6 o'clock. Now, by tomorrow morning, we are going to bottom out these temperatures, most likely mid to upper 30s across the CSRA. This is about 10 degrees cooler than what we've been waking up the past couple of mornings, so definitely bundle up if you're stepping out early. Tomorrow afternoon, we are expecting those highs to be at least warmer than today, but not by much. We should stay fairly seasonal, most spots varying from the upper 50s to near 60 later into the afternoon. No rain in the forecast Saturday, and most of your Sunday should be dry as well. Let's take a look at it. So high pressure sitting just to our north tomorrow, keeping our skies generally clear. As we head into Sunday, that cloud cover is going to be building, so we are expecting generally cloudy conditions late in the day on Sunday. As we head towards Monday morning, we're going to see a warm front move in from the south. That is expected to bring us a few showers around daybreak Monday. As that warm front moves north of us, we are expecting high temperatures in the low to mid 70s both Monday and Tuesday. Now, as we head towards Tuesday morning, the cold front side of the system could bring us some more showers. Some models are hinting at the possibility of some thunderstorms with that, so we'll have to monitor that through the weekend. But Tuesday, looking like one of the warmest days we'll see in quite some time, getting all the way up to 73 degrees.
Thanks, Riley. Starting tomorrow, all Augusta libraries will be closed for 1 week. If you have books checked out right now, they say don't worry, due dates will be extended. They will not be taking any returns right now, including their drop boxes. On Monday, February 1st, all libraries will go back to curbside pickup only.
The Shepherd Blood Center teaming up with Richmond County Schools today to host a blood drive that was out at C.T. Walker Magnet School on Wrightsboro Road. The school says because of the pandemic, they wanted to come up with a different way to give back to the community.
This week, we honored Dr. Martin Luther King Monday for his impact in our community, and typically that's a day of service for our school. And because of the pandemic, we're kind of limited in the things that we can do as part of a day of service. So this is something we can do to honor Dr. King.
And Richard will be happy to see that's a Georgia Southern grad. The center will host another blood drive on Tuesday at the James Brown Arena between 11 and 4. And we'll have the details on our website. An Atlanta icon, a baseball legend, and humanitarian, Hank Aaron, has died. We will hear from other brave icons as they remember his impact coming up in sports.
On your sideline, sports. it's a sad day. Lost another really good friend and just a man that we all should just adore and love.
Atlanta and the entire baseball community lost a legend as Hank Aaron, long considered to be the true home run king, passed away at 86 years old. Hank Aaron began his baseball career in the Negro Leagues before his contract was purchased by the then Milwaukee Braves. Aaron was among the first black baseball players in the South Atlantic League before making it.
The 2021 Fall and Winter Clearance is going on now. Get 2